All right, today I'd like to poke a little fun at science. We see in our world today that science has started to take on a personhood of its own. We see we need to follow the science with a capital S. And don't get me wrong, I love science. I have a background in zoology. I worked in a couple of research labs in an earlier time in my life, but I do not agree with capital S science. And here's at least one reason why. One of the most popular and well-known scientists of our time has certainly been Stephen Hawking, a very brilliant physicist who does math that is way beyond my capacity to understand. However, he made an argument that has been made by many others. I would say Richard Dawkins wouldn't disagree with this. Daniel Dennett, and it goes something like this. It says, "The physical world is all that there is. Therefore, science is our only true source of knowledge." Now, if that were true, I could take that argument, I could write it in a circle and call it well-rounded. Or I could fashion it into steel, and it would be a strong argument. If I took that steel and threw it in the ocean, it would be a deep argument. But the fact is that it is self-contradictory. That the very statement itself contradicts itself. What do I mean? Well, the physical world is all that there exists. Therefore, science is our only true source of knowledge is not, in fact, a scientific statement. It's a philosophical statement. And it is based on any number of presuppositions. And this is not merely a play on words. It has been pointed out by people much smarter than me again, both Christians, C.S. Lewis, John Lennox, and atheists, Thomas Nagel and Tom Wolfe as examples. So we need to keep these things in mind. Science is built on philosophy, and that philosophy and those underpinnings are, first of all, that the world is intelligible, and then second of all, that we have the capacity to understand it. Now, you may ask yourself, well, where did those presuppositions come from? Well, it's not too hard to figure it out. All you have to do is read a history of science book, and you'll discover that science was born in late medieval Christianity, and it was based on the assumption that God was a God of order, and since he created the world orderly, we should be able to understand it. It's also based on the presuppositions that God gave us reason, and that reason and our minds could be trusted. That is why that in the earliest universities, theology was called the queen of the sciences, because theology made science possible. And if we are to take away those fundamental assumptions about science and try and replace them with the nonsense, the self-contradictory nonsense that the physical world is all that there is, we are left with basically not only a self-contradictory statement regarding science, but no motivation whatsoever to do science. Because if the physical world is all that there is, then we can't, our thoughts and our thinking are all just random molecular motion going on in our physical brains. That is not a very sound way to do science. Just poking a little fun. Have a great day.